front of, don't we? And then afterwards in the New Testament, we're going to see this service that comes with it. So these Hebrew and Greek words. So I want you to go to Matthew chapter 2. Matthew chapter 2. I told you we'd be all over the Bibles today. Matthew chapter 2. Verse 2. Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him. This word here, proskuneo. So who are they going to be in the presence of? Jesus. God in flesh. What are they going to do? Fall face down. And the language is to kiss the feet. To kiss the feet. To put, it's you get into Old English language and you get into the thoughts of a king and a servant that come in and they bow before them, right? That's what this kiss the feet there. But these guys have come and they're going to fall forward in front of him and kiss his feet in honor of him. Go to John chapter 4. Matthew, Mark, Luke. John chapter 4. John chapter 4, very familiar passage for you on worship. And let me explain why you're going there, John chapter 4. What we're doing here with this is, I need you to, there's praise, right? Just covered that. There's praise. There's praise out of this, man, God, you've given me. I thank you. And now there is this worship of you are holy. You are so different. You are so set apart. You're so awesome. You're so, that there's going to be a different attitude. And you're going to see these in your prayers, okay? Praise, to worship, to service, to other things, okay? But John chapter 4, verse 22, 23. John chapter 4, 22, 23. Let me go to it. You worship what you do not know. What's the scene here, Bible students? The woman at the well, right? And they've gotten into this kind of a theological discussion on what is worship. And she's pointed to this mountain, to this external place. And Jesus says something different. And he says, okay, verse 22, you worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. But the hour is coming, and now is here, when the true worshipers will worship, bow down, okay, about this proskuneo, worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father is seeking such people to worship, to fall in front of him, to kiss the feet of God. Those are the type of worship. Look, in your prayer times and in your worship and in your praise, there can be all worship, or all spirit, no truth. Yep. All spirit, no truth to it. There can be all truth and no spirit. Get me? He says spirit and in truth. And in our prayer, we want it to be coupled with those things, right? Coupled with those things. That we're going to be praising God and thanking God, and it's authentic in that praise because we're thanking him for the things in which he has given us. But there's also this attitude of the truth of the worship that's going to come, that we're going to fall in front of him because of who he is and how holy the God is that we're encountering. You will, I'm telling you, when you pray this prayer, you're going to go from prostrate on your face to pools of water in front of you from your tears, to standing and running around your house and your kids seeing you like you are nuts. Like you are nuts. And you're going to have those prayer times. Let and allow God to stir you in them. Moving right along. Supplication. There is also supplication in prayer. That's page 10. There is also supplication in prayer. The Hebrew word chalah, to entreat, beg, and pray. This word has a double meaning as well in it, y'all. Shalah. Okay? To entreat, to beg God, and it also means a cake for an offering. A cake for an offering. Okay? So you got a couple of meanings here. I have entreated, I have begged, I have prayed to God, and he has given me a little cake. What do they do with them, these little shalah cakes in the Old Testament? They bring them as a peace offering to God. Isn't that cool? I entreat, I beg, I pray. He gives me in this little cake, and then I bring it as an offering to God. Because guys, you're going to go through this in your prayer. There is supplication in the Lord's Prayer. Okay? It comes later in the prayer, but we are going to ask God to give us our daily bread. And He does not mean just the spiritual bread of life of Jesus. He wants us to pray for our daily bread. Okay? Not the bread that we see Jesus saying that I'm the bread of life. That too, we're going to need that too, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to get those in the first three petitions. When you're praying from our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. You're going to get your spiritual need. But now you turn to God, give me the things that I need for this day. You're going to ask those for supplication. But what are we taught to do, y'all? As little children, when we sit down and God gave us the cake, before we eat it, we do what? I can't stand when somebody says, this is awful, but don't be, when you're around me, I ain't gonna pray around that because it's gonna pick my prayers apart. Don't do that. But when somebody says, let's say the blessing, it's already blessed. God gave it to you. That's the blessing. You're supposed to do what? Give thanks. Let me thank you for this and offer it back to you, right? My daddy used to pray, thank us for this food and let us use our bodies to your service. There's something really accurate in that. Thank you for this. Now use me to offer it back. Daddy got it right. He would be proud that I said something good about him. Anyway, hey, the Greek word for this, for supplication also, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have went over the supplication for favor. There's also supplication for favor. If you want to write these down, Joshua 11:20, also 1 Kings 8:28. This is praying for God's favor on you and asking God that He would that His blessing would come. It's also a supplication. It's not just for food. We'll see that as well in the Lord's Prayer. Joshua 11:20. And I'm sorry this thing went out because I thought I'd added those to that, but I'll fix it for next week. I don't know what it is. Joshua 11:20 and then 1 Kings 8:28. 1 Kings 8:28. And those are perfect understandings of what supplication is. Let's go to Luke chapter 1 together, though, okay? Luke chapter 1. Luke chapter 1. And I want us to see supplication, New Testament supplication, Luke chapter 1, verse 13.